Right, Connor, we're 4 gigs.
Yeah.
No, 3 gigs.
3 gigs,
4 days.
cities. No.
Right, let's do this. Let's do this as a team. We can do this. We've done 3 gigs.
Yes.
We're in our 4th city.
Yes. So 3 gigs, 4 cities.
3rd country.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, did we get there?
Berlin, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Dublin.
Yeah, but we're not doing a gig in Dublin. We're just visiting.
We're just doing this.
We're just drinking. Yeah, you're like you angled your glass around there.
Yeah.
He's devastated. His first time in Dublin.
Proper livid.
Your first proper pint.
I was like, yeah, we're in Dublin. Need to get a pint of Guinness. This is a pint of actual Guinness, and they've given me it in a fucking Guinness 0%.
Just making sure I didn't put it on Instagram.
Glass. Proper embarrassing. I had to sit in the bar like I was some kind of cuck.
And then we both tried to split the tree and missed by about a mile. Really didn't get anywhere near it. Actually, by the way, I'm putting myself in Muggle Corner here, but I'm bringing back Muggle Corner to say if you're splitting the tree, you're in Muggle Corner. You fell for a market ploy.
It is a marketing ploy. I feel like Guinness is the only pint in the world that is stared at more than it's fucking drunk.
Aye.
People, Guinness politics does my tits in.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are like, oh, you've not let that settle properly. There's bubbles in the head. Just fucking drink it.
Just get it doing you, man.
But yeah, splitting the G's 100% marketing.
There isn't another stout though, is there? Let's be real.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Conor McGregor's got one, eh?
I think he's got a rape charge now.
yeah.
He's got a stout and a rape
It's the
charge.
only stout you can buy if you're underage.
I didn't say it was
unless he sees this, in which case, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He put the name Conor on the map though.
Oh, aye.
There's not been very many famous Conors.
Oh, hold on. No, surely not. Surely there was more famous Conors before.
There's not been
Conor
many.
McGregor. Because Conor McGregor came on like in 2012,
Aye,
2013, I think.
But then, I'm telling you, man. As a Conor, there is not many famous Conors. There's like
so
a few.
Conor McGregor is to you what Kai Rooney is to me.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, like there's quite a few Conors in American sport because, like, unfortunately, Conor in America is a bro name, like a frat bro name.
Oh, Todd.
It's like Cody or something. Yeah,
Todd,
yeah. So
Cody.
Hey, Conor. So there's loads of like high school athletes and stuff who are called Conor. But he put it on the map.
Why can't I think any more famous Conors?
There's another Conor Burns.
Yeah.
The Tory MP.
I've heard you at the end of your set when you tell people to find it on social media to make sure it's Conor with 2 N's.
Yeah, Conor.
Because Conor with 1 N.
Which is Conor with 1 N is how McGregor spells it. But that Conor Burns is like a disgrace.
Which is the correct way to spell it?
Look, I think the Irish way is Conor.
Are you like Gary with 2 R's?
No, I'm not. I don't want me having Gary with 2 R's. I fucking hate that.
You like Gary with 2 R's?
Conor with 2 N's, mate. Conor. I said once in a Starbucks, they asked me my name. I said it's Conor. And I went 2 N's, 2 O's, and she wrote Conor.
I didn't think you needed to specify 2 O's.
Yeah, but I was having fun with it.
You just been
2 N's, 2 N's, 2 O's.
Put it away. One C. Put it away once.
Yeah.
So Conor, the Tory MP, Scottish.
No, he's actually Irish.
What is his constituency?
But his constituency, I think, is like Bournemouth. Bournemouth, I think.
Right. And he got done for sexual misconduct as well?
He's had some kind of sexual scandal.
It's a Conor thing, you just wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
1 N.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
1 N, harder.
Yeah. I'm going to miss Conor McGregor's Twitter voice notes, though. I mean, he might be the only guy using that feature. You know, like that's his thing.
Oh, does he?
He gets like cooked up and smashed and leaves and puts voice notes on Twitter.
I don't like when people send us voice notes directly.
Oh man, but it's amazing.
You know what? I didn't mind them. I just might not be able to listen to it straight away like I would with a text.
Aye, and
you're giving us something for later.
You're also it's like you're giving me fucking homework. Like, just I can glance at a message and get the gist.
Aye.
You force me into listening.
You know when I voice note, well, selfishly, when I'm walking the dog, it's fucking pain in the arse texting when you're walking the dog.
There's certain places I despise having to take a phone call. Like, see if you're on like a busy high street
Yeah.
and you're forced into a phone conversation.
Yeah,
I get so angry.
That guy between us on the treadmill today, we both went in the gym, right? There's only 3 people in the gym.
Yeah.
Us 2 and one guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he ended up on the middle treadmill.
I wanted on a treadmill, but there's only 2.
2
so
treadmills.
I had to take the bike
To his side.
Aye.
I took the thing on the other side. And he just took a phone call.
A video call.
He
He had it resting on the thing. He was Skyping his missus.
He Skyped his missus from the treadmill.
Aye.
And I had a full-blown conversation with somebody on the
Do you know
treadmill.
what that tells me?
What?
He's cheated before.
Do you think so?
And he's in a hotel and he's like, look, honey, if you see me later and I put a picture of me later, I've got a sweat on. It's just because I was at the gym. I promise.
Do you reckon he's
That
like
screamed of
he's
that.
got to check in?
Yeah, it screamed of that. But he was. There was an intense presence to my left, having a full phone conversation.
Yeah. Was he having a conversation in English? I had my headphones on, so I could just see it was happening.
I couldn't hear him either.
But I did leave a voice note when I was on the treadmill because I had like a bunch of messages of somebody that needed a swift reply.
Yeah.
And the reason they kept messaging was because they just were trying to do something that required attention. And I was on the treadmill and I literally just fucking replied explaining.
Well, Conor McGregor's ones is he'd get like cooked up and go on Twitter. One of the famous one is the one where he's making fun of Dana White. It's so good, man. He's like, he's making fun of Joe Rogan for his commentary. It's great. Well, you need to find the actual file, but he's like pretending to be Joe Rogan. He's like, that's an illegal knee to a downed opponent. He's like, shut up, Joe, you little fucking fool. Yeah, I'll slap you. And he's like laughing at himself. He's like clearly smashed.
Man, he fucking... I fell for his charm so hard, man, when he started.
I don't even mind admitting this. I bought his DVD.
You had a DVD?
He had, when he was... Right after he beat Jose Aldo.
Was it the documentary, Notorious?
Notorious. I had it on DVD.
Did you?
Which is weird.
I didn't think...
I don't like...
Because I'd definitely seen that without having a hard copy of it.
I honestly think I was so far up his arse that I was like, I want to support his format.
It was so bad because like it was this guy that was just so arrogant, but it didn't count as arrogance because he kept winning.
And he was like, it was a great story. It was like proper working class. You know what I mean? He was working on a building site.
Remember when he was like a spotty skinhead and he would hijack the fucking the press on like the cage warrior stuff. And those, he just dive into the cameras and just
amazing. Like, and those early weigh-ins, he looked like a crackhead. Like he looked so scary.
Yeah,
when he was fighting at like he was like fighting at like 145 and stuff. And he just looked like there was something in his eyes. Yeah. And then he just got like rich and fat and coked up and
just weird.
Yeah, man. I think you're pretty, because you know that thing, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. He obviously, it was years and years of training, but he got famous, like he got best paid sports person in the world famous. Yeah. Within
Forbes famous
3 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody fucking gets you ready for that.
Should I never give these gypsies money? No way to Rick James, to paraphrase.
Please include that was the words of Rick James.
To paraphrase Rick James.
But man, no one prepares you for that.
Fuck your couch.
I'd love to see the Charlie Murphy Hollywood stories of Conor McGregor.
I've got a story about Charlie Murphy, not my own story, but like a 1 degree of separation. You might even meet the promoter in the next couple of gigs that ran by this promoter. He was promoting Charlie Murphy's tour, comedy tour.
Amazing.
Talking to people tour. Spoke in an audience with Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the tour, Brang was like, I'm gonna get myself this I've had my eye on this gorgeous whiskey that's at this whiskey bar. Right. At the end of the tour, I'm gonna get myself one of these whiskeys, right? I really fancy it, and it was like fucking something like 90 euros or something ridiculous, right? So he gets these dram whiskeys and enjoyed it, and Charlie Murphy comes up and he's like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, such and such a whiskey." He's like, "I'll have one." And Brag's like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna get this guy." And he was like, he went away to chat to his mate, and then he was like, "He probably won't know a £90 whiskey
Yeah,
compared to a normal whiskey.
definitely getting him a famous
Yeah,
grouse now.
getting him like a fucking Jack Daniels or something. And Charlie Murphy just come back and just sculled it right away. And he was like, "Oh, phew, thank God." But also, we're like fucking 0 degrees of separation from Conor McGregor, because you know about Danny on Conan.
No.
You know, when Daniel was on Conan, right, there's a fucking producer who booked him on it called JP, right?
Right.
You probably met him a bunch of times at the Fringe. He was at the Fringe this year. He's always there, right? I'm not sure what he's working on at the moment. But at the time it was that. And Danny was just like fucking like what we were talking about, with hook, line, and sinker for Conor McGregor. Right?
Yeah, mate, he spoke to like a generation of us.
So Danny is telling JP about this guy who's got this fight coming up and everything. And ended up, I think the fight was on that weekend or something, and he watched maybe one of his fights against like fucking who would he have been fighting back then? Like Chad Mendes or something.
Or like Dustin Poirier. Or
or Brimage, Marcus Brimage, maybe. It was like one of the early fights. In,
what was that? That Dennis Seaver. Do you remember that one? Man, he fucking battered him.
And so he was on the up. He'd maybe had his first couple of fights, so it probably wasn't Brimage or Poirier, but it might have been Mendes or Seaver. So Danny gets JP onto this new fighter. JP gets a little bit of a fucking rush of blood for him, and then fucking sees him fight Aldo and go, "This guy's the fucking tits. Let's get him on Conan." Right? So JP fucking manages to get Conor McGregor on Conan, and then tells Conor McGregor that it was Daniel who got him onto this, right? So he ended up ringing Danny, right? Danny didn't pick up, so he got the answer phone message, and the answer phone message was, "My man, I heard you got me on Conan, so I just want to say thank you."
That's unreal.
Right? And I ended up like patching the audio with a picture of Daniel on the phone and a picture of Conan on the phone, and like patching the audio on it and put it on social media.
Is that out there?
It's out there.
Oh,
it exists.
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Wait, I'll probably be able to get hold of it on my phone, on my iPad. And that was the Conan where after he'd beat Aldo or whatever, then Conan was asking what's next, and he was like, "I don't know. I'll maybe get Floyd Mayweather out of bed," right? So then the fight with Floyd Mayweather happened, and Danny was there going, "I'm partially responsible for one of the biggest fights in fucking history happening, right? But like also completely responsible for the demise of Conor McGregor."
Yeah, you are.
Because
that's not a fun voicemail message to have now.
Is it fun?
Nah, there's people in the world that dread seeing his name come up on the phone now. Fuck, man.
Yeah,
you know what? Cool. I saw a clip, and fair play to the reporter, but I saw a clip of him today coming out of court, and like the reporter was a braver guy than me, because he went up to him and he was like, "So Conor, you're officially a rapist. Do you have anything you want to say about it?"
Did he?
Aye.
Was that here in Dublin as well?
It must have been, aye. He's like, "So you're officially a rapist. Do you have anything to say about it?"
What do you have to say?
Well, he just got straight in a car. He was just shepherded it right through. I go, fucking out. If I was working for the Dublin Chronicle or whatever it is, like, and they put that in front of me, I'd be like, "I'm probably just going to go and ask him what his next move is."
What's the next move? Oh, man.
Wait, why would you confront a guy who's just lost it all?
I did an interview the other day, and the interview started with, "So you've described yourself as a wannabe gangster." I was like, "No,
I got a list of questions.
I got a list of questions.
I'm not. First of all, we'll come back to that. Let's figure out where that came from. But you have described yourself to me multiple times.
I have.
Yeah.
Want to be a gangster.
With your eyes.
I really want to be a gangster.
I wish I was a gangster.
I want to be involved in organised crime.
But I've got ADHD.
I'm just not organised enough.
Disorganised crime.
I want to start a gang, but nobody wants to join me. I just want to be a gangster.
How do you start a gang? Like, who would you ask?
Wait. So if we're going to start a gang, what we're going to be doing? Like, what would lure you? What would lure you into my gang? It's like, "Here, Conor, I've got this job."
I'm so scared of jail that it would have to be so alluring.
All right, so nothing that's going to get you locked up, something that's going to get you a suspended sentence.
like a really petty crime gang.
Aye.
We can be like, what about vigilante? What about like if someone's got a clamp on their car?
Oh, because that would be a crime, wouldn't it? The unclamp cars.
Aye.
Or pay people speeding fines.
Yeah.
You kind of pay
say it's 120 quid to get the clamp off your car. We turn up and we take 60 quid off the guy and we cut the clamp off for him.
Aye.
So like, we're making money, but we're also saving people money. The clamp boys.
See, do people get clamped anymore though?
No, I don't think that's a thing.
We're solving a problem. I haven't seen a clamp on a wheel in a long, long time. Like, so you may have.
Mate. You want me out? We're just Renaissance men.
Our gang might have to be in somewhere that's a little bit less developed,
like Sunderland.
Start the clamping gang.
Yeah, I'm not just making fun of Sunderland because you're a Newcastle fan, and I'm not making fun of Sunderland particularly, but I remember I just so happened to be doing a gig in Sunderland, and I remember I had a time to kill during the day, and I was looking at, it was a bingo hall. I was standing like in the middle of Sunderland just looking at it.
That's where the gig was?
No, but I was just like in town, like walking about killing time before the gig, and the bingo hall, honestly, I was like, like it's undergoing repairs, like there was bits of it missing. Mm-hmm. I was just standing thinking to myself, I wonder what they're turning that into. And then 400 old women came out of it. And I was like, oh, that's still a functioning bingo hall. So there was holes in it.
So did you think it was like a fucking
I thought it was
quarantined, like it was like boxed off, they were going to turn it into flats.
I couldn't believe it.
I was about to get some work done.
Honestly, it did not look like a fit place for humans to be in. And then all these old biddies shuffled out of it.
The people from Sunderland have to fly from Newcastle to get to Spain.
I bet they love that.
I fucking hate it.
How far is it?
We sing it to them. We sing it to them at the match. You have to fly from Newcastle to get to Spain. You have a hot dog, sausage and a burger bun. You have a hot dog, sausage and a burger bun.
Oh, that's really funny.
They hate it. That's fucking
because does Sunderland have an airport? Aye.
Does it Teesside Airport? I think it's got like maybe one destination. I think.
Hell.
Straight hell. No, Teesside Airport. It actually flies to Amsterdam. I found that out the other day because there's some Mackems at my gig.
Oh, really? We love them. We love them, really.
You know what? I do get Mackems at my shows, you know. Hands across the water.
Absolutely, man. Have you seen the documentary?
Well, Mackham's coming to the show. With them coming out as Kai fans.
No, the other documentary.
Oh, yes. Sunderland Will Die.
Aye.
Alfie Joy. Alfie Joy was on it doing stuff.
It was a weird...
Like, what if Al Pacino...
It was
Just like any way he could get his impression.
It's a very weird documentary.
That was another one as well. There was I think there was like a check a trade cup or something for like the under 20.
Yeah.
And I think my mic might not be picking up, so I'm just gonna. I don't know how long that's been, but I'm just gonna give this a wiggle. What's the time?
Oh no, good.
I dropped it a little bit before. 1 2 1 2. What's that on? 18 minutes. I just fell out before I saw it down flat. Yeah, there was just some like fucking just under 21s cup game, but like Newcastle and Sunderland hadn't played each other in years, right? It was before the recent derby in the FA Cup, and it's the first time they've met since the Netflix special.
Exciting.
And even though it was like an under 21s game, like all the Newcastle fans were just going, "We saw you cry on Netflix. We saw you cry on Netflix."
That's so good, man. I went through a thing of like, have you ever watched the thing that's like side by side comparisons of English and British football chants compared to American football chants? In America, it's so embarrassing, man. There's one that's an American one, and it's a guy, and it's an American. I think it's a USA national team game, like and the guy's dressed as Roosevelt, like with a hat and the sword, and he's leading the fans in a chant, and he's like, the whole chant is, "We will fight and we will win. We will fight and we will win." He's like, "USA, USA, we will fight and we will win." And then it cuts to, one where it was like, "Yeah,
lasses at grass, Jamie Vardy, yeah, lasses at grass."
It cut to that one. It was, who was it?
We're going to score a goal.
Your dad watches elephants, and your Addy by whore, your dad watches elephants and your mum's a whore. So as he's getting stretchered up.
Oh man, we were at the home game against Leeds, but right next to the away end. So like when fucking like arguing distance with the away fans. And what was it? He's one of your own. He's one of your own. Jamie Savile. He's one of your own. And then they give it a beat, and it came back. He fucked all your kids. He fucked all your kids. Jamie Savile. He fucked all your kids. We were just like,
fair dues. Sometimes you got to concede it.
Do you know? I was on Hot Water Green Room with Jamie Hutchison, Tony Carroll, right? Straight after Danny Stagg, I'd watched the Newcastle Man United game in a fucking bar in Vegas in the Anchor or something, like just some off the strip, middle of the desert fucking pub, like English pub, the country to the Queen. Right? And then there was just all these fucking Man United fans that like were American, and
because Man United fans live anywhere but fucking Manchester.
Come on, you Red Devils! I was going all that shit, and I was telling Jamie Hutchison about when David De Gea fucking cleared the ball out the box in like the 80th minute, and this Man United American fan with a Man United top pointed in my face and went, "Sweeper keeper," fucking mortified. No. So I tell this story on that podcast, right? And it gets clipped up and put out, and I'm at Newcastle versus PSG at the Parc de France in the away end, right, enjoying the game, and I just hear some lad go, "Sweeper keeper." it was a lad like halfway across the away stand who spotted us.
That's a tremendous bit of
realised where he knew us from and went, "Sweeper keeper." Across the away stand. I hate it.
See, when you say like oh man, we gotta have to score an extra time, or it's gonna go to PKs. It's gonna go to mate. There's only one PK in football, and he's shagging Shakira. All
right. I wonder if he's accidentally sexted Shaqiri. Next Liverpool player.
Yeah. Who do you? I get vibes of Ronaldo that he like cries in bed.
Oh, Crimaxes.
Yeah, Crimaxes.
He has a good old bubble after sex.
Oh man, because I think he cries because he knows that he's wasted some of his DNA. Do you know what I mean? Like he looks at himself in the mirror in his pants and he's like, oh, I just denied like carrying on my lineage by shooting one into this.
He thinks that. So he thinks he's crying with like what could have been because of the.
I think I guarantee that he has done Pilates purely so he could suck himself off.
Do you reckon he would actually like to be Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
Just make sure every sperm
70% of the world is a direct relation to Cristiano
Ronaldo.
Aye, man, I can't stand him. There's something about him like he's got dodgy charges as well.
I don't know where you get information from, but information just travels around the world. But there's the info. I'm going to call it information instead of calling it a rumour because I feel like it is information. He can't go to America. That's why you wouldn't find him at the MLS, because if he lands in America, that's when he gets arrested.
Oh, that'd be amazing, man. Right, you wouldn't need to do his headshot. There's already that unbelievable likeness that exists of him in his statue.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, what was that? But why is that a thing? Have you seen who's the? I don't really know basketball. Is it Dwayne Wade that just got his?
Perhaps
he just got his bronze statue unveiled, and it became like a meme because it's like,
maybe his bronze isn't the metal that they're using, because none of them seem to be able to manipulate the bronze in the way that like the Romans used to manipulate marble. They're not, like, just I think we've gone backwards with statues.
I think the problem with Dwayne Wade's one, I keep saying Dwayne Wade, I think it was him, but he's got a beard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
it just looks like part of his face.
It just looks like he's got a massive chin. It's like a Johnny Bravo chin that he's got.
There's not enough like detail on it to make it look like a beard. It just looks like it's his face. That would be devastating.
What football chants in that? What was I going to say? We were talking about that guy chanting.
Right. I cut in with a sweep. I keep a story, but you were doing the back and forth between America. I like excavating the conversation.
And have you seen I need to show you the clip, man, because I'm not going to do it justice. But there's a guy who calls himself like an ultra for one of the teams, and he's standing, he's wearing a wee scarf, and he's leading the section in a thing. But then he became like known as like scarf casual.
Scarf casual.
People
business casual.
People just kept by like I can't remember it. I'm gonna have to look it up. But the chant was like toe curlingly embarrassing.
Oh no! Was it an American one? Was it
an American guy? Yeah. And he's but American football, even like when the Portland Timbers score a goal, a guy dressed as a lumberjack pretends to cut a piece of wood in half at the side of the pitch. It's they're a fucking embarrassment.
The European fans are fucking amazing, but they just do the same thing regardless of what's happening on the pitch.
Yeah,
they're singing the same song. They go to the same beat. Like there's no synergy.
Yeah,
I feel like we're British football fans. There's like what happens on the pitch dictates the crowd. The crowd respond to the football. The football responds to the crowd, and there is this fucking connection.
I'm always fascinated. See, when you hear a really funny chant at a football game, I'm always fascinated how that's broke through.
Aye.
So like one of the boys in like the Die Hard crews that go to every game.
I think forums.
I reckon they turn up,
float them on forums, and if they like gets a lot of likes or whatever.
I wonder if it's like that. It's like their SNL. They go in to a pitch meeting with some like horrifically racist chant. All the boys in the pub go, "That's actually really funny." We'll do that.
You know what I'd love to do? Everyone had to be in on it.
Yeah.
You know when you get like sometimes your crowd gets a bit quiet. You're in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right? You're leading by fucking one goal, but you haven't had the ball in about 15 minutes. The crowd sometimes flattens a home crowd.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'll hear the away fans going, your support is fucking shit. I would love to just instantly go, no, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. It's really good. It's just me, ultra lame.
That's very American coded.
Just knowingly ultra lame respond to that chant because it would just disarm it immediately.
What was that one that went viral? It was like Cambridge or something went on this horrific king of not scoring in 19 games or something.
The arrows.
And all the fans turned up with the arrows.
And pointed the arrows behind the goal.
So good. Because that's another very British thing is our ability to like have a laugh at ourselves and like take the piss out of it. I feel like, like Americans, like they wouldn't have that thing of they'd just be like so angry at the players, so angry at the club. Whereas like it's so funny to me that someone had to make 100 high visibility arrows to go to the game.
Someone's taking their time doing that.
It's like that scene in
we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Stevie's missus has cut them out on her cricket.
When you see the scene from Django.
Yeah.
When he makes the cake.
I stayed up all night making arrows.
Yes.
I haven't been to a football game in ages, man. Just doing this job. I haven't been for a long time.
Well, you're going to be in Newcastle for Summer Main, I think. We were talking about it the other day. So in the new year, I'm doing all them extra Newcastle shows, and there's going to be like you're going to do a couple of them, aren't you? And Elliot's going to do a couple of them, and
definitely.
I've scheduled them to be right next to Newcastle matches.
It's so good.
So like, I can go back home.
I've only been to St James Park once a few years ago, lads' weekend in Newcastle, and we went to see you were playing Arsenal. I fear you may have lost. It was.
I was going to say if it was the one
maybe 1-0, but
if it was the one that we won 2-0 a couple of years ago, I was there.
Nah, it was longer ago than that. Probably 6-7 years ago or something. Cracking atmosphere. I love it, man. I know it gets said a lot, but the one city, one team thing is so nice because like coming from Scottish football,
there's so much division.
There's so much,
in Glasgow and Edinburgh.
There's 3.
Yeah. It's 3 in Glasgow.
First division, second division, third division.
Oh, right. I thought you wanted to be Partick Thistle.
So
I was like 3 in Glasgow. Partick Thistle doesn't mean Thistle.
Nah, it is, man, and it's like it's good. But
and then Manchester and Liverpool, like they're divided. Like fuck the audacity of Manchester United calling themselves United. There's nothing United with Manchester.
I know.
It's like two of the biggest clubs in the world.
I know it's
Manchester.
I know it's early days in the season, but like they really look like they're really looking in serious trouble. Like serious trouble.
It's fun to watch.
It's mad. I grew up with the like Fergie team, and like everybody in Scotland was a all of a sudden a Man United fan.
I know, like, a lot of people that listen to this podcast don't like football because they're Daniel Sloss fans, and there's no Venn diagram crossover between Daniel Sloss and
football
liking football. But you couldn't have lived life without knowing about that Fergie era Man United, where they just dominated.
The two teams that dominated growing up were Fergie's United and then Wenger's like Arsenal team.
Yeah,
that was like you grew up.
Even Wenger's Arsenal team didn't really dominate; they just pushed Man United.
And
landed a glove once or twice, and then I guess Chelsea. But like, I think we should hard pivot out to football because we have got stuff to talk about from the tour because we've been like finally got there at the beginning. We've been going for 4 days now, but day one was the one where the wheels came off the bus.
Oh my god, man! Because
we've actually corrected ourselves from an early stumble.
I think it's good to get that logistical nightmares out the way day one, because then you read everything 3 times before.
Yeah, aye. So, it has helped, hasn't it?
Aye, because we did the Berlin gig, and then
it was an intimate gig, and we got to have a pint with everybody afterwards. So there was people who'd been to Danny's show who always bring spliff forward to Danny's show.
Yeah,
he brought spliff this time.
Yeah,
and I come in super high.
Yeah.
And we're like, should we book the taxi?
Well, I just sat and had a pint with a guy for Hartlepool.
Oh, aye, so you did, aye.
You at regular intervals came in looking more and more foreign.
Yeah. What kind of foreign?
The eyes foreign.
Yeah, there we go.
But you were just coming in more and more like chilled out. You sat further and further down in your chair every time, and then we had to go to the hotel.
Because we still had our luggage because it was a really tight flight for like landing and getting to the gig. So we didn't have time to go to the hotel first. It was an airport hotel, and we didn't even have time to go from the airport to the hotel to the gig. We just took our luggage in to Berlin just so we could take it out straight after.
Also, we had time to go to the hotel.
It turns out we did.
Because we got there and you weren't even able to do your sound check because a random woman with a laptop turned up.
Some cunt hijacked me sound check.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of sound check and somebody come in with a laptop and plugged it in. This is how I discovered she was there, right? I was doing sound check. And I just looked behind us, and there was a picture of a young boy's face filling the screen of this projector screen, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, fucking hell, is that me backdrop for the show? Is that what we're going to do? And he's like, oh, you have to pay extra for that or something. And then it turns out this woman was plugging in her laptop so that like she could do a projector-driven show at a later date at this venue. And then she just started sound checking.
Yeah.
In the middle of my sound check, and I just stepped to one side and just went, I guess I've just been muscled into my own sound check.
It was such a British reaction.
Aye.
Like, because German people were so weird and direct.
Because when I came back, I was like, I don't know if I've put my foot in it. Like, if that was like her dead son or something, and she was doing some kind of projector, like,
is that my background?
She's doing some like kind of fucking panorama investigation for the fucking malpractice of the doctors that misdiagnosed a child or whatever. And I'm just going like, oh, can I have this as my background? So that's why I kind of sheepishly stepped away because I felt like I'd put my foot in it.
We went backstage and there was like a weird backstage rider as well where there was 2 whole baguettes, 2 tubs of hummus, a few packets of crisps,
it was
and like other
apples,
like,
and then
a bag of nuts and some apples and that.
I recognised this rider.
And then the women running the venue came back and went, I'm really sorry that we couldn't get your bottle of gin. And you were like, what?
But there's gin behind the bar and he has some tokens for the bar on it. And because see, I didn't demand gin and I didn't demand hummus. And I didn't demand M&Ms.
No,
and
a big bag of M&Ms.
But I somebody who demands all them things. It's called Daniel Sloss. And basically my agent had sent Daniel's rider through to all the venues. And I had to ring Molly and just go, let's wait until we sell more tickets before we start treating ourselves to a massive grocery shop.
Your exact words were I don't want to come home to an M&M bill that I can't pay. But we lived like kings the first night. We got the big rider. Paid for it. May as well wire into it.
Everything went in my bag.
That's the difference. At the end of Sloss's gig, he probably doesn't feel like he needs to take his rider home.
Yeah, it's just a little gift for the staff. It's a little gift for the staff. If anyone wants
like
any, then he moves on to the next one.
Taking apples and that.
So I'm so high. Fucking, we've had the gig ended up being fucking really nice, and everyone was fun afterwards. After a long day, it was like nice to just like have that pint with the audience after not knowing if you're gonna get the venue, struggling to do sound check. So I got out and get high with some of the guys that we see every time I'm in Berlin with Daniel, and then I got to book the Uber. I just fucking started typing in the name of the hotel, and then it came up, and I pressed on it.
Yeah,
there's a chain.
There's more of them, and we picked the one that was 25 minutes in the opposite direction,
and we just got an Uber for like 25 minutes,
and then we had to negotiate with the Uber driver to let us. When we got to the other one, realised it wasn't our hotel. We had to negotiate with the Uber driver and be like, can you wait for us to order another Uber and then you accept it?
He looked so bad. Like when I offered him cash, I was like, because I've got like fucking 30, 40 euros on his like. Do you want to just take that and then take it to the hotel? And he looked around like it was a sting operation, like with a fucking hidden camera. He was like, it's a secret shopper.
Undercover boss.
He's trying to fucking get my Uber license took off, you daft cunt. He was probably like not about that life, was he?
Yeah, that was a very Geordie move to watch you be like, we're in a sticky situation here, mate. Go and just take some cash and sort it out.
Oh, yeah, I felt like cash would have won that situation. There's a man with a car with two people in it. I've got cash on us.
You've already got our suitcases in the boot, mate. Just take us.
But he was like, he absolutely looked like he was looking for hidden cameras. Then he arranged that forward to book the trip, and he was like, I'll try and catch the trip.
Yeah. And he did, to his credit. So then we drove about half an hour. I'm bursting on a piss.
You are so fucking...
Legs were crossed. You kept offering me a fucking drinking your bottle of water, and that it was so funny.
You were doing your best. You're doing your best to can. I'm not gonna be pissed off with him. It's his fucking first day of his tour. Like fucking. I want to fall out with him on day one.
I was like, I've got 2 weeks with this guy. Like I need to I've already ate his fucking M&Ms. But I was like, I need to when you. Like, it's funny for a while. You're like, oh, I'm bursting. Oh, am I going to make it? But then it gets serious. And you have to, like, focus on your breathing and, squeeze your bladder so you don't piss your pants. And we'd already pissed. We'd just jumped in that Uber and 15 minutes into half an hour journey, I would have been like, mate, I'm really sorry, but I need to pee. I would have jumped on the side of the road and pissed. But because, like, we'd fucked this guy around, we'd ran out of, like, this guy's goodwill. So I was like, I'm just going to wait till the hotel. So I'm like proper clamping down. And then we get to the hotel and it's late. It's like 11:30 or something.
Nice staff.
And it turns out that this fucking hotel, there's no staff after 10 p.m. So it's a digital, like, it just looks like an ATM essentially that you've got to check yourself in it. And it won't even open the doors to the hotel without you checking in. Right.
Oh, but it would keep opening the doors back out to the outdoors.
Yeah.
So like you can't move with it. So these doors are like squeaking open and closed the whole time. Drafty as fuck.
As soon as I see the setup, I know that I can't hold the piss until this is fixed.
I think the first thing I said to you when I saw that was go piss on the street. But we're not getting in for ages.
But he was clearly sitting on his phone for a wee while, the Uber driver, when he dropped us off. And I never told you this, but it was so funny. So I ran to the end because there was a field at the end. So I start pissing in the field, but then he starts his engine up and his full beam headlights come on. And I was just like, like that thing, like third, was it Encounters of the Third Kind?
Oh yeah,
I was just like, because I was just dark with my silhouette in my wee arse.
Like the parody of that on The Simpsons with Mr. Burns.
So I was just a silhouette of a perfect wee arse. So not only did we make this guy take us on 2 trips, but then he got full view of me midstream. I took honestly a minute and a half long piss. It was phenomenal.
And by the time we come back, I still hadn't figured out that I was so high, but I was like, right, come on, focus, zone in. So I've got this like fucking Google Drive, which like it should be a spreadsheet, but it's a Word document. It's a spreadsheet within a Word document.
There's a lot of information. The font's very small.
It changes colours a lot. Like it's
and it's because it's a sheet. Like on a phone, you have to slide to view the whole thing. So
and
there's
then you end up getting to slide, but you hold on too hard and you highlight some stuff. It's in the current information age that we're in, like there's a better way to communicate information than the way we use as a system for touring.
So we took one look at this and decided that in our state, the easiest option was to phone our agent at midnight and wake her up.
Yeah, and bless her, like, she got her to bed.
Aye.
And, like, she's got a bad knee and she lives in a house with stairs.
Yeah.
And she had to fucking, like, I had to listen to her, like, struggling to get up the stairs to get to my computer to open a file that we've got on my phone.
And then she read out the number, and as she was reading it out, I realised that was on the thing.
Yeah, you know what, though? We had typed that number in.
Yeah.
But it had full... So it's got name and reservation number, right? So I type in Humphries, and I type in the number that's on the... drive, right? So we hadn't rang her straight away, we'd give it a shot.
Yeah, we give it back.
So it's booking.com reservation number, right? And it had like 4 digits, full stop, 4 digits, full stop, 4 digits, like 16 digits with full stops every 4. And because the keypad had symbols on it,
yeah, we were putting the full stops.
that implied that the full stop was part of it.
Yeah.
So we put the full stops
It's
in.
such bullshit, man. You shouldn't be able to check in a hotel because
then I'm like,
staff in it.
you know, if is it all capitals?
Aye.
Is my second name?
Yeah.
Like, is it just a capital and then lowercase for the rest of it?
Aye.
Like, yeah, like, there's too many variables to be type in your name and password here.
Yeah.
There's just too... Man, I usually struggle if I have to log into something that I've had an account for years.
Of course, man.
And I have to reset it because it needs
and then I was starving. But I knew I brought with me like a
Good job I had loads of nuts and M&M's to be bagging it.
Yeah, you selfishly took all of the rider that you paid for. But I knew I had like a wee ramen bowl thing in my bag.
Oh, yeah.
Like I always chuck one of them in my case because there's always stuff like that where you go, I haven't had time to grab food. I'll get back to the hotel room, I can at least have something before bed. Start looking around the fucking hotel room. It's got a hairdryer in it. It's got this, it's got that. No kettle.
It must have had a kettle somewhere.
I was raging. No, man, I turned the place upstairs. I was
sometimes
opening
it's
drawers.
in a drawer. Did you check
I was
the
opening
drawer?
drawers because it was like an overnight travel hotel. It was really
Airport
stripped
one,
back.
yeah.
So I was like,
Because it was actually that Hartlepool guy you were talking to. And I was like, oh, we're staying at the fucking whatever hotel.
And he was like,
spent all your money on your rider, didn't you?
got 2 baguettes sticking out your bag like fucking Deadpool. But I had no kettle. But then I was like, this is a disaster, man. I'm so hungry. There's nothing. You can't even go down to the foyer and buy something because there's no staff. We're in the middle of nowhere.
I wouldn't even consider what you did next as an option, you know.
So I went to wash my hands, or I went to brush my teeth, and then realised that the hot tap was like ripping hot. Like I couldn't keep my hands under it on all the way hot. So I went, that feels hot enough for noodles.
Having a pot noodle with hot water out of the hot taps.
Mate, it worked. So I was like, right, it's probably going to take a while to get the noodles soft. So I did it, then jumped in the shower. And I came out my shower. It was fucking perfect. It was ready. And I sat down and I looked down and realised there was no cutlery in the room.
You want to use your room key?
Mate, I know, I actually didn't use my room key.
I didn't have one. It's a fucking code locker.
It was a code, so we didn't even have a room key. What I ended up using, this was the CCTV footage, if there's one in the room, I doubt it, but would be the saddest piece of fucking video you've ever seen in my life. Because I came out the shower, just put my pants on, and I was like, there's a lot of like liquid in this, so I'm not going to put any clothes on in case I splash. Looked right and realised there was no stuff. There wasn't even like a pen. You know what I mean? If there was a couple pens, I could have fashioned some chopsticks or something. All there was, I was even trying to think, like, could I use my toothbrush or something? All there was a paper cup with a wee paper lid on it in the bathroom for you to put your toothbrush in. And I was like, what the fuck can I do with that? So what I ended up doing was like rolling up,
a little taco shell.
Rolling up the thing like a taco shell and scooping it in my mouth. But then the problem was that the liquid, the broth from the ramen, I would scoop up, but then it would slide at the back end of the taco. So the first mouthful, I splash it all over the bedding. So I was like, I put it down. I've got one like mouthful of noodles in my mouth. I'm in my pants. My wee belly's hanging over my pants on the edge of the bed. I have to wet the towel. I soak the towel and I'm trying to get the like red fucking broth off the bedding. And I was just like, this is, and then there's a mirror so I can see myself. I'm like, this is so fucking sad. And then I realised that was the only towel in the room as well. So in the morning I had to wash myself and just avoid the fucking the spicy broth corner of the towel.
But while you were doing that, I'd got in the shower, right? Took my jeans off, put them down, right? Took everything off, including my glasses, right?
Yes.
Had a shower, come in, and then was like, right, I'll pack my jeans into my bag, I'll put out some travel clothes, like trying to be organised for tomorrow, put my shit on charge, right? And in the middle of that, I'm just like, where the fuck's my glasses? And I couldn't find my glasses fucking anywhere. Mate, I'd come in the room with my glasses on, and then just couldn't. Like I was in the room with my glasses on, I took them off before my shower, and now they're nowhere. I had my fucking room upside down looking for these glasses. I put them on top of my jeans, and then come out the shower, I folded up my jeans, like, pretty much rolled my glasses up into my jeans and put them in my bag. So he was fucking splashing under ramen. I was on my hands and knees looking under the bed for a pair of glasses that were in my bag.
And then I slept in the morning. You woke me up with a phone call, and you were like, I'm in the taxi. I was like, oh no. So I had the world's quickest shower, wiped myself up with a ramen towel, shut my suitcase.
And we're both in the taxi again. If that's the worst day, it's a decent tour. Because I've had worse days than that on tour. Normally them come fucking first one.
Yeah, but that was, I feel like we made all the mistakes we needed to make. But all the hotels have been good since.
Yeah.
Today was so good, like so funny. Like our flight to Dublin was delayed. A couple of hours, in which we didn't really care about.
Because I'm catching up on Arcane, which is the
and we were only on like a
series.
super tight time schedule. There was people on that flight who like they'd missed their connecting flights and that, so tensions were starting to run a bit high. And I'll be honest, the Aer Lingus staff were like, you could tell they were being a wee bit arsey with people and that, a wee bit short. And there's this one guy that I could see was 3 rows down, and he was getting livid. Like clearly, like he realised he's missed his
connecting flight, and
he was starting to become a problem. And he had a wee red wine, one of the wee bottles of red wine, and nothing was complimentary, so he paid for it. And he got up to go to the toilet for a piss, but in that time the clean-up person had come. I think they saw like that much left in his wine and just picked it up and binned it. So he came back and started complaining, but I had my headphones on, but he was getting animated. I could see him going like, what is this? And he's pointing at his wine, right? And so the woman was like, right. And she went away. She was like, I'll go get you another wine. But then she went to go get wine, and we hit really bad turbulence. So everybody was bound to their seat for 20 minutes. So I could see he was like fizzing, like he was about to get his replacement wine, and now everybody's had to go and sit down.
Yeah, that bit of turbulence was fucking naughty as well.
Yeah, that was actually
a roller coaster kind of thing.
That was a scary flight today. There was 3 or 4 patches of horrible makes you realise like I am an atheist, but as soon as your belly goes on a plane, you go, oh please. But so then he was getting more and more pissed off. Eventually she brought over his wee wine, calmed him down a bit, and then a different guy came 10 minutes after that to get we were about to start the descent, so he came and was grabbing all the stuff, and the guy he had a big bin bag for everybody's rubbish.
Gash bag, you call them,
a gash bag.
That's what they call them in the trade.
He had a big gash bag. And then he was also carrying above the gash bag. It was like Aer Lingus branded like tubs. It must be for. It looked like maybe what they keep like the wee milks or something in, but they were plastic Tupperware. And he was carrying
syringes in,
something like that. And he was
shops.
Yeah. He was carrying like 4 of them stacked up on each other, and it just so happened that wee guy that had been shouting at the women, he turned round and the top one toppled off the tower and fucking hit the boy right in the head. He was raging, kicked him off again.
Little angry bald man. It doesn't take much to wind up a little bald man, does it? But little bald man are already ready to go. They're already wound tight.
Oh mate,
like life's hit them hard.
I used to work I've worked a bunch of stuff, but I used to work occasionally doing like construction stuff. I remember being on a building site. And like there was a wee spark that was winding everybody up, a wee electrician that was just like, he was like 5'5". Every story ended in him knocking someone out.
And
there was like there was a one of the joiners was like this absolute.
He's his own hype man.
Exactly.
Get his reputation up.
Like every story, he was the hero of his own story, and it was like everyone was just getting sick of working with him. And one of the joiners was like an actual lump, like 6'4", but like gentle giant. And I remember he just shut that wee sparky up one day. He was like, see if us big cunts were half as aggressive as you wee cunts, there'd be none of you wee cunts left.
Amazing.
It's clamped
That's
up.
really poetic as well. I would stamp the lot of you. A little fucking mini genocide.
Oh, what would you call that? A mid-genocide.
Genocide.
Mid-genocide.
Genocide. That sounds nice though. It sounds like a.
It does. It sounds like a resort. But it's so funny that like, because the first guy, the guy that dropped the thing didn't know about the wine debacle. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's so funny to accidentally drop a piece of Tupperware on a guy's head. And then for the guy to go mental,
just instantly goes mental. Like, doesn't realise that like you're the straw that broke the camel's back. Like he's been pissed off by everyone along the way, and you just come along and just slammed him.
And he was bald, the wee guy as well. Like he was a wee bald guy, and
so I was a donk.
I saw it. It was the corner, like proper hit the top of his head. But I was so tempted getting off the plane to just like lay a wee slap on his wee bald head, just as the final straw.
Just keep picking on him. Just going right. Everyone chuck a little bit of something on him.
Aye.
Just niggle away at him.
Gonna go home
grind him down.
He's gonna go home and like bat at his wife.
He's not. He's missed his connection.
Yeah.
He's busy swinging from behind the bathroom door. This is one of these hotel rooms.
So good, man. I've seen some mad shit in airports and planes. You're catching people at their worst.
Oh yeah, aye. I was miffed today because I was having a fucking like text argument regarding business with someone while on a flight.
He was trying to start a gang.
Trying to start a gang, and people weren't interested because he didn't clamp cars anymore. And I actually just identified that like I haven't had a coffee all day because I'm fucking whitening my teeth. So I'm wearing these like fucking like rubber retainers that you put little like dabs of like bleach in and rub it in and make sure it doesn't get onto your gums and make sure you don't swallow any because you'll die. So I had that, meaning that I can't have coffee, red wine, all the good shit, beetroot.
Yeah, it's very disconcerting when you're grumpy from not having coffee and you turn around and see you putting a gum shield in. Oh, my eyes fucking ready to go.
That grumpy man's got a lovely smile. And then I was like on a flight that was late. And I was just like, just self-diagnose, deal with that tomorrow. That's not something for you to get angry about.
I was actually proud of you. You identified, you were like, I'm really angry and pissed off at the minute. We should not do this podcast as soon as we get to the hotel.
That would have just been me whinging about that fucking text conversation. That's all that would have been. It wouldn't have been a fun one. I was like, give us an hour. Like, if you want, I'll meet you in the gym, but I'm going to go for a run.
Then we went down to the gym and just listened to that guy have a phone call with his missus.
We've been good at that, in that we're fucking let the wheels come off the bus day one and went, alright, we'll just like be going to the gym and looking after ourselves.
We've actually been on it. Like we've been alright. Like especially in this line of work, man. It's the only job in the world you get to work and the people who've hired you ask you if you want a pint.
It's great, isn't it?
So it's mad. So the fact that we're like, the wheels are vaguely staying.
And we have drank every single day.
But moderately.
Yeah, like an airport pint and then a pint at the gig.
Kind
of level, just steady away. But we've been at the gym and that, and like we haven't been tourists in any respect in 4 days.
It's been really embarrassing how little we've seen of.
I mean, to be fair, you saw plenty of Berlin. I showed you Berlin, Connor.
I really did.
There's not a bit of Berlin that you left unturned. Like you're sick of Berlin.
You know, like Berlin is such a sex positive city. I reckon that guy thought that we thought maybe he was some kind of fake taxi situation. We were just going to keep hiring him. Like by fare 4, he was like, fine, I'll come back and suck you off.
Because he was gay, wasn't he?
I don't know, I didn't pick up on that.
Did I pick up on it?
Nah.
I picked up on that he was gay. My gaydar was flashing with that taxi.
I think you picked up on that because he helped us with our suitcases. This guy must be gay. He's being nice to us. Oh no, I didn't pick up on that. But I have been told I've got terrible gaydar before.
Have you?
Aye. By this guy that was shagging me up the arse.
Did you get let into a gay bar that a gay person didn't get let into? Did I remember that right?
Oh yeah.
You you've been to Berlin before.
Yeah, in Berlin, I was almost gonna get in. Larry Dean got held back.
Larry Dean was like, "You're not gay,
for
mate.
not looking gay enough."
Come on, in you get.
One
of our regulars here.
Matt, you're not getting into those clubs unless you're wearing like fetish gear, though. It's impossible, right? And look, I'm only 30, but I'm a prude. I am a prude, man. Like, especially for like being a comedian and that. Like, I'll talk about sex on stage and stuff, but like, there's certain things where I'm like, I don't need to see it, man. I don't need to see it.
Oh, I think I'm not a prude until I hear gay guys talking about sex.
You just realise you're a homophobic prude.
Maybe I talk like that if more women talk like that.
Aye. Yeah. Oh,
that graphic.
Oh, the way, because like, of course it's like that. It's two dudes.
Because there's no filter on it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna cap that or reel it in or bring it back.
Of course. Yeah. So it's like that's just like a live group chat. Happening like. But I also like, I'm always like, I've been in gay bars like with my fiance and that, because I don't care what anyone says, man. There's a weird like section of guys who like, you went to a gay bar, mate. Some of the best
where you're the guys we're trying to avoid.
Some of the best nights out you will have. No one knows how to party.
The music's good. They stay up longer.
And everyone's just in a better mood.
Late.
And do you know what? Every now and then, if someone throws you a wee glance and tries to flirt with you, you go...
Suck them off?
Aye. It's the least you can do. I'm not getting anything out of it.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
I can't admit I might move teeth.
Yeah.
That's kind of help, actually.
Have you had a coffee today? I can taste it coming through. But I've been like told by gay people, like, oh, you know that guy was like really hitting on you, and I'm like, oh, I just thought he was sound. I'm just having a conversation with a nice man.
How many of my mates hit on us? I kind of pick up on it.
I'm not good at it. I just assume people are nice. I remember me and my mate used to go out with a girl who was a manager at a gay club, so a couple of times at the end of a night out we'd go there and wait for her to finish her shift. And she'd like sort us out with drinks while we were waiting and stuff. And it's a famous gay bar in Edinburgh called CC Bloom's, and there's over the road for it as a chippy, so it was like kicking out time, 3:30. We're all smashed. I think we're like 19 or 20. We're all smashed, so we go over the road. So it's just the last few people filing out of the gay clubs, and like us and a few other people from pubs. And there's one chippy left, so we all go over to the chippy, and we're chatting away, and this gay guy starts like really aggressively kind of flirting with me.
In the chippy and Al. He's like, last chance this. You just want to get home alone.
At 19 as well, I was such like
there's a penalty in the 93rd minute this.
At 19, I was such like a little twink as well. Like I just left high school, I just lost a load of weight. And I know he was looking at me with hunger in his eyes. And because I was with like my mates, I was just like winding the boy up a bit, like
leading him on.
Right, leading them on, but like,
them.
But it was like funny though.
Chippy.
But then this was when so I had a sausage supper.
I bet you did.
And we were standing outside, and there was someone had left half a sausage supper on the windowsill of the chippy, and the guy came over and he was like, come on, give me a bit. And I was like, nah, mate, I've just fucking paid for my food, leave me alone. And then he like turned his back and he was like, give me a bit. And I picked up the sausage off him, and he's like, oh, it's freezing. And I went, aye, mate, I've just picked it up.
Done.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's done him.
Aye, mate, it's just been lying on that windowsill.
Give him a little bit of cold sausage.
Exactly, that scared him off. But
just after he went home alone.
But I've never understood that. It's such a weird macho thing to be like, I'll never step foot in a gay club.
It's like actually quite childish.
It's ridiculous.
Thing,
and also
you've still got your schoolyard, your gay thing.
You think you're so irresistible that the second you step foot in a gay bar, you're going to be fighting
back
guys
off. I probably would still. That's probably what's going to happen. So we've got to wrap this up now because we've got a flight in the morning. We've had an hour. I reckon we should use this last minute to just plug what Dublin shows, because we're in Dublin now. Because this show's meant to be in Dublin. like we had the flights booked, the show was in, you've got your tickets, and it got moved to a different date, to a different venue while I was on holiday. So I come back off my holiday and just got told that Dublin's been moved. Yeah. So it's in the 30th of January now, but we're still in Dublin. And you're also doing it. I'm going to be
there on the 26th of January, which is a Sunday. I'm going to be at Workmen's Club.
We're both at the same venue, 26th and 30th.
So yeah, you do it in the space of a few days.
So what days are they then of the week? Like
I'm there on a Sunday.
So that means I must be there on a Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. So come and have yourselves a good week in January with me and Connor on separate days as well.
Class.
And I think Daniel's going to do the next podcast, so subscribe to Patreon.
I know, by the way, sorry, while we're plugging, episode. I am also about to go on
everywhere
my biggest UK tour. It's my second UK tour, but it's bigger than the first one, so it's my biggest. So yeah, I'm going all over the place. So chances are, wherever you are in the UK, I'll be gigging near you throughout January, February, March. So just look me up on social media.
Connor Burns on social media.
2 N's.
2 N's, 2 O's.
Conor.
Connor Burns. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, man.